Good morning, it's Adrian and I need to catch up on our PG a day. I have been so busy recently, I have not had really the time or energy to sit down and put together kind of like my actual thoughts. Now today's would be day 8 for RPG Day 2023. What is my favorite character, I believe? I think it's character is the bold word, and just the question is what's my favorite character? And I was thinking about kind of more like not a specific character, because I was thinking about it, and a lot of the times my characters don't have as much depth as I really would like. Playing D&D for several years, primarily starting from the pandemic, I didn't really have any characters that were super amazing to me. Like I had some joke characters that were, they were for one shots and I was playing for a laugh, and so I didn't really treat them seriously. I had this elephant guy in D&D. He was just a big fat druid, and he was really funny to play, and I had a great time playing him. But besides being kind of a silly joke character, he didn't have any story. I've played a couple long-term characters now, which were really fun to play. I played Graham White in an All-for-One game with Ubiquity that was set in kind of the Revolutionary War era. He was really fun to play. He's a one-legged kind of sharpshooter. But for favorite character, I don't think I have anybody that I've made that jumps out as, let me tell you a story about this. He's my favorite guy. Probably Girth is one of my favorites. Girth Hubble is he started out as a hobbit in Lord of the Rings Online, in the role-playing game online, back when I was younger, and I made him into D&D 3.5. He was actually one of my first characters when I was just playing with Rebecca. Just the two of us. We each had two characters. I had Girth and Dimdorf, and she had Lorray and Miles, and they were really fun to play. I'd say probably if I had to choose a favorite character, I probably would choose him. But recently, like I was saying, I really enjoy characters that have a lot of depth, and for me, because I run more games than I play, I think playing NPCs is actually more fun, especially when I have the opportunity to really get into their head, their motivations, thinking about what they want, how they act to things, and really actually role-playing in the form of NPCs and inside the world. I think probably my favorite character from those, I had a lot of fun playing the Four Samurai in the Ronin game that I just ran, because I spent a lot of time trying to think about what their character types and personalities and motivations were. But even before that, the one that I think I've done the most serious role-playing for in character, even though it's not even like public, like a lot of it's just been from the DM planning stuff and kind of what's going on in the background, is in Quantum Black. There's a spider team Venom, and the team lead, her name is Jezebel, and I've found it very fun to play her for a long time, because her motivations are very specific, and she's been a team adversary, but they really haven't interacted with her a lot, and so she was forced into a position to where she basically had to go rogue and shoot down a missile, and that was against orders and caused her to end up needing to go rogue. And now they're not vigilantes, but they're out there in the world, and kind of no one really knows what they're doing. But she's been really fun. So I think to summarize, I really enjoy characters that have depth, that I've been able to kind of play on a more serious level, not just comedic or boring is not the right word, because I have fun playing characters even if they're not deep. But my favorite ones are the ones where you can think as them, you can feel their emotion, you can have real experiences, and that's pretty fun. So that's day 8. All right, good morning. RPG Day 2023. It's day 9, catching up. Favorite dice. For me, my favorite dice sets are these metal ones. This is my emerald green one. I got this from Dragonflight Con last year, or it might have been the year before. But I have a full set, so D20 all the way down to a D4. And then the other gold metal set that I like is this gold one. This one I got for, I think, Christmas a year ago, 2 years ago. I can't remember. But those metal dice are my favorite ones. But other honorable mentions that I have, I'll flip the camera around here. These are my old Ubiquity dice. This is what I used to use, is just this set of D6s. So this would be the only success in that roll. 3, 1, 3, and 5 do not count. We only do evens. But yeah, these ones I got for Hollow Earth Expedition when I first got it. Just got a big pack of these and treat them kind of like binary dice. Evens are successes, odds are failures. So I really like those ones. But the ones that I really like are my real Ubiquity dice. And these ones I got online from Etsy, and these all count as successes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes for my Ubiquity dice. The last couple ones, just because I really like dice, I really like alien dice. For this one, you look for stress, and you look for 6s for success. These pretty much don't count, if I remember correctly. And then I think the Star Wars dice are really cool, but they're not my favorite. These ones are for the FFG Star Wars, so you have to kind of dissect the results. This, I believe, is a failure, and this is a threat. That's a success and an advantage. This is a triumph. So yeah, in this roll I would have done really well, but I only had one challenge die. So let's see, is there any other dice that I want to show? How about Rebecca's Lucky D20? Alright, that's all for now. See you tomorrow. Hey, and we're caught up. It's day 10 of RPG Day 2023. So the question is my favorite tie-in fiction, and I had trouble thinking about this because a lot of the role-playing games I like, I don't really read anything fiction-wise for it. I love creating content and stuff. I guess Quantum Black does have a written story at the beginning, which I've read a couple times, and that's really fun. But for all the other ones, Hollow Earth Expedition, D&D, all the other games, I can't think of anything that's jumped out. I guess Tracy Hickman's Dragons of the Dwarven Depths for Dragonlance, if that kind of counts. I really like that series. That's like the original Dragonlance trilogy, plus Dwarven Depths is like a book 1.5. That was really a fun read. But then on that topic of like books, fiction, I thought about Star Wars, and I've read so many Star Wars books, and so that's kind of where I'm going to have to answer for this. My favorite tie-in fiction is in the Star Wars expanded universe, the lore. I've read Jedi Apprentice, which is the stories of Obi-Wan as apprentice with Qui-Gon as his master. The Jedi Quest books, those are Anakin as an apprentice and Obi-Wan as the master. There's the Boba Fett series, which follow Boba Fett growing up after Geonosis and, everything that happens with him there. There's the Republic Commando books, if you want to get into like clone culture and how the Mandalorians and the clones kind of their culture developed together. That's a really great book, especially if you like the video game. There's the X-Wing series, if you want to read some like Wedge Antilles Starfighter stuff. There's the Thrawn trilogy, The Heir to the Empire. There's just so much good Star Wars books. If you want to read kind of like a heist series, there's Scoundrels. There's Tatooine Ghosts. There's just so many great Star Wars books that are out there. So anyways, that's going to be what I put for my favorite fiction is Star Wars. If I wanted to run a role-playing game in Star Wars, I'd probably choose The Mandalorian, kind of post New Return of the Jedi, kind of in the Empire in shambles, and the New Republic is starting to like. I love how they have like the X-wing police officers in The Mandalorian. That's really fun. So I think that's a great setting to do a game in. And then obviously, Peak of the Empire is a really fun setting. You can play on the Outer Rim. You can play as rebels. You can do all kinds of stuff avoiding the Empire. And the third setting, I think, which would be really fun in the Star Wars universe is kind of New Jedi Order, where Luke is training the Jedi and you're all Padawans, with like Luke or Kyle Katarn and all that. But all that kind of lore has been erased a little bit, I feel like, so it's harder to do that one. But anyways, enough about that. Favorite Star Wars, favorite fiction would be Star Wars books. So anyways, see you tomorrow, now that we're caught up.